Hey guys, Station X here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Nintendo Switch Lite, specifically the one themed after Pokemon Sword and Shield. It has the two main Pokemons on the cover of that game on the back of the Switch, and the nice detailed stencil looking design. As you can see on the side of the box, it shows it right here a little bit. This one, Pokemon has never been something that I've been the craziest fan of. I didn't really grow up with the games or the show. It was something that I ended up taking an interest in later on in life.
Bulbasaur.
That's Onion Turtle.
Geodude.
Punchy Rock.
Meowth.
That cat with them long ass arms.
Ekans.
Purple shit.
He called Diglett.
That's floor shit right there.
And Doug Trio.
That's 3 floor shits.
He knew Pikachu, but everybody knows Pikachu.
Oh yeah, that's Pikachu right there.
He called Weeping Bell.
Oh, that's almost a pair.
Weedle.
Party Wiener.
Beedrill.
Everybody know that's Big Dick B.
Bees don't even have dicks. It's a stink.
Whereas I had friends that were into Pokemon growing up, I was playing other types of games because I just, Pokemon typically were RPGs. I wasn't super into RPGs. I was into like either racing games, sports games, or shooting games. But later on, I started getting into Pokemon a little bit, started dipping my toe in it with Let's Go Pikachu. I know, not the very best one to start with, and I did get the Pokemon Snap games.
Welcome to Pokemon Island.
Like both the original and the new one. I also have not Pokemon Tournament. Which one is it? I know I have it here somewhere. Is the Pokemon Stadium. There we go. I think it's right here. Somewhere in that pile of boxes I have over here. But yeah, I have a few Pokemon games that I dipped my toes in a little bit. And as far as the show is concerned, I feel like the show specifically is something that if you didn't get into as a kid, you're not gonna really appreciate as an adult, just because, at least for me, it's hard for me to get into it. And then as far as the cards collecting aspect of it goes, I've always liked the cards. I always liked the art on them, especially the nice foil ones. Those are also very nice. I also like the ones in the big boxes. They had like the gigantic Pokemon card. Usually they had the regular size version of it, and then they had the big version of it as like the main special card you got in the box. Those are a nice fun time. But I figured since there is a new remakes of older Pokemon games coming out with Diamond and Pearl, and the fact that Pokemon itself has, gained some popularity over the past few months, why not unbox this special edition right here? I really wanted to get the normal, like the regular Switch, like Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee one, but I can't find that one right now. Even this one, I couldn't find the North American version. I had it imported from Japan. It's pretty much every Nintendo thing I'm trying to find. I just have to buy it that way if I want the box with it. I was able to find North American versions, but I need the box. That's the whole point of this channel, is to unbox and give you that experience. So, with seeing the sides of it here, it's very nice. It's got this, it's a unique gray to it. It's not like the same gray as the standard one. And they'll have really nice colored buttons. And with the Switch Lite, you notice that there's a D-pad right there instead of the normal individual buttons that the Joy-Cons use, which that's one thing I'm very happy about. And here's a nice view of that back right there, which again is something that a lot of Nintendo Switch special editions, I have a problem with the tablet part of it. When they do special editions, they never color them in. Pokemon themselves have had really nice special editions with the DS and 3DS. With the 3DS one specifically, the Pikachu one for the 2DS XL, and the Pokeball one, which I think that's also a 2DS XL. Those two come to mind first just because they look really nice. I really do like the aesthetic of the art style Pokemon and stuff like that, and with the special editions being the way they are, looking really nice, unique, creative, the things popping out of the system itself, like the designs of it, I just thought they were really cool, and so for this to be our first special edition Switch, I mean, they haven't done anything crazy with the regular Switches, so I wasn't going to super expect something crazy for this, but it's just kind of like, it gets kind of disappointing when you know what Nintendo's capable of with the special editions, but hopefully we're slowly getting there. They tend to pump out like really nice ones towards the end of the system's lifespan, so who knows, maybe when the final hurrah of the Switches with Lite, the regular one, and the upcoming OLED many years later, we'll get some really nice ones to send the console on its way. But I digress. This being my first ever Switch Lite, I have very strong opinions of the Switch Lite. There's a reason why I never got one, but I'm going to keep my personal opinions aside and going to look at this very objectively and fairly for the consumer who doesn't want to spend the extra $100, or when the OLED comes out, $150, if they're just gonna play in handheld mode and don't want to spend lots of money, or maybe just giving this to a younger child that they don't want to spend a lot of money on a system that they might get bored with. This might also be something you'd be interested in, because the Switch Lite is the cheapest out of all of them, being $200. Now, like that's pretty much the cheapest a Switch has ever been, and because of the fact that this is also capable of playing pretty much all the Switch games, technically it could play all the Switch games, but the difference is that some Switch games need Joy-Cons, and these do not detach, as you'll see in a second. So that you will need to buy extra Joy-Cons. But so out of the box, it could play like 98% of the Switch library. But when you buy Joy-Cons with it, it'll play the whole thing. It's not that big of a deal. It'll still recognize it. There's no way of saying, oh, it can't play on here. It'll play, you just need extra things with it. Now, opening the box, they always have this nice little tab here. They never have like stickers or tape over it to block you from the console, which is really nice. Never have to bring out a sharp object. So it's nice and friendly for kids to open too, which is nice. And it really comes in this nice, simple cardboard thing. I don't want to say box, it's not. And really, there's only two things that this box comes with, and that's the tablet itself, as you can see, and underneath it will be the power cable right here. Just open this tab up, and then there's the system itself right there. I mean, look at this thing, it's a beaut. I like when you first open these up, they're nice and like shiny on the screen, and I really like these nice red and blue buttons. Like the sticks also are that same color too. Look on the top here, you got your power button, you got your volume button, you got your headphone jack, and you got the game. And there's no kickstand on this, so the SD card's kind of right down here. It does very much remind me, like the bottom parts itself kind of remind me of a DS, like the 3DS. But yeah, like look at that designs of the Pokemon there. That's pretty good. I wish they were colored in so you can see the nice detail that you see on the box and stuff. Like the box, imagine just having this on the tablet. That would be nice to me. I feel like it would also give it a lot more color than just the buttons right there, but unfortunately, that's just kind of how we have to deal with right now. So why would you buy a Switch Lite over the regular Nintendo Switch or the OLED that's coming out in a few months? Well, the differences is that this thing, obviously being the Lite, is a lot smaller, and this is only a handheld system. You can't take these side, these, they're not Joy-Cons. You can't take these off. So that's one thing that, it's only portable. You can't plug it into a TV. It's just only meant for you to play on the go, not meant to be played on the TV. So that extra $100 right there with the dock specifically is gone. But there's other things that it's a lot lighter than a normal Nintendo Switch. It's also, the Nintendo Switch is 4 inches high and 94 inches long this way, and This one specifically is 3.6 inches high and 8.2 inches long. So this one is a lot smaller in that aspect, and it weighs 61 pounds compared to the other one being 81 pounds. It has the same type of screen. It's an LCD screen, but it's also smaller, where it being 5.5, the regular Switch being 6.2. This one also has the same amount of gigabytes as the other one, so storage space you're not going to worry about with it being 32 gigabytes of storage with that, and you're not missing out on that part. But the battery life is also significant, not significant, but like it is shorter battery life compared to the regular one in some aspects. Whereas the regular one's 4.5 to 9 hours, this one is 3 to 7 hours. So that's an unfortunate thing right there. So if you were playing things like Zelda for long periods of time, or Odyssey for very long periods of time, or Pokemon for very long periods of time, it's gonna drain that battery a lot. I could see it happening so often. I mean, it did for the regular Switch. The battery life is actually comparable to the first version of the Switch that came out, because that one didn't have not so good battery life. But with version 2 having a better battery life, and the OLED having pretty much the same, if not a tiny bit better, and granted, like the OLED has an OLED display, and that one's 7 inches screen, so has the Ethernet connected to the dock and stuff like that. Better kickstand, which this one doesn't have a kickstand. Really, this would be for somebody. These type of people would probably buy this over the Switch. Parents who want to buy it for their kids, who know their kid's probably going to be bored with it and not play this very often. People who are on a budget and don't want to spend the extra hundreds, they want to save that for something else, or on games they want to play but just want to have the ability to play the games, then this would be fine for you. People who also don't care about playing it on the TV, they strictly want portable games, so this is something that would not only give them that, but also would save them money if they never care about plugging it into the TV. I will say though that if you want the best type of portable experience, the OLED does enhance the portability aspect of it, as far as having the better screen, the bigger screen, and it being just larger overall, the better kickstand and speakers and such. But I mean, this is just a budget option. This is just something that if you can't afford the other Switches, that's pretty much the main reason for why this is something that you would want to buy. It's the money aspect would really save you lots of money on that. $100 to $150, I mean, that's nothing to sneeze at. Other than that, I mean, I personally, this is where my personal opinion will come in. I wouldn't buy this for myself. I probably also wouldn't buy it if I was buying a Switch as a gift. But this does has its place for people who do want to enjoy the Switch, but just again don't want to spend that money for X amount of reasons. This is a nice handheld, and the Switch games are more than worth it to buy something like this. So it's not a bad thing to buy this. I personally probably wouldn't, but if you guys out there would like to buy this instead of the Switch, let me know, because I always like to hear other people's opinions on the Switch Lite. I mean, I know there are people who disagree with me on the Xbox Series S, because I'm more of a physical games kind of guy, and the S doesn't do that for me. But that one's also a very good system. This one is in that same boat. Good system, just doesn't appeal to my aspect of the Switch itself. I like the Switch for it to be a hybrid and not just the one. Vice versa, if there was a Switch that only did TV, I'd be a little disappointed too, because I like the portability of it. The Switch is a nice system to really get into, and so having really nice TV quality games for the Nintendo Switch to be playable on the go, I mean, this still allows you to do that, so that's very nice. We're going to also go into a comparison of what the Switch Lite looks like compared to a normal Switch in just a second. So let's go do that right now. Something I just also want to point out before we get right into the comparison is that the charger that does come with it is the same charger. And if, say you buy this secondhand, or you just buy this pre-owned without the charger, and you're worried about plugging in a charger to this thing and bricking it, it uses the exact same charger as the regular Switch, so you're fine on that. But here we have the regular Switch next to the Switch Lite. As you can see here, this thing is significantly, not as thin. It's not like that much thinner, but it's definitely smaller. I mean, if you look at that right there, I mean, that's no, I mean, right there, it's like almost a whole inch difference right there. And then the screen itself, I mean, we could take these off, so we could just look at the screen itself. Like, boom. You could see right from there that the screen is smaller. The bezels actually blend into the Switch Lite, I will say. That's really nice. And the Switch Lite also, something I forgot to mention, that there are, besides this only special edition that they did do, as far as stock normal colors, they started off with turquoise, gray, and yellow, and then they added pink and purple later on in its life. Whether or not we'll get more colors, maybe, maybe not. Here's hopes that they do make more colors and that they'll be really nice and pretty like the other ones. They went for a more pastel look instead of a neon look that the regular Switch normally gets with its Joy-Cons. And again, like, if we compare the Joy-Cons, let's do this side. Like, it's funny because, like, the sides, this looks like a baby Joy-Con if they were to take off. Now, one thing I also will say, that is one very glaring question. The Joy-Cons always had a problem with the sticks themselves breaking very easily. So, what does that say for these? Are these sticks different? Did they fix them? Did they improve them? Well, no. These are the exact same sticks as the ones on the Joy-Cons. So that's also a very big problem I have with this Switch, is that if this breaks, you still have a tablet, you just gotta replace the Joy-Cons. These break, you lost the whole tablet. Especially if you bought something like this, which is this nice special edition, you are really going to be screwed. You would have to take this to a repair shop that knows what they're doing to repair it. Or if you at home know what they're doing, and I really stress that if you know what you're doing, you could fix it yourself. But other than that, you're kind of screwed. Nintendo themselves are going to replace it with this exact one if they do offer to replace it for you. I'm not even sure because I didn't necessarily look into what the process would be to send it to Nintendo to get this fixed. But yeah, like, that is just a very unfortunate thing that happens with these controllers / the Lite itself, is that these sticks are very not good. So that's just something that you're gonna have to deal with if you want to go down the Lite path. So other than that, I mean, the only other difference is that this has the kickstand and this doesn't. But it also, with the SD cards, it takes the same ones, the micro SD cards, so you're pretty much fine on that. Also, as far as the aspect of, say, you want to buy this to keep it on the TV, and you'll buy this to be the portable one, since this is smaller and you can fit in your pocket easier, and it has the D-pad, that lovely, lovely D-pad, which this one does not. And the D-pad itself actually feels pretty good. It's that same Nintendo quality that you expect from the D-pad. But, the problem is that it really can't, like, as much as the name's called Switch, you can't just switch from these two different systems. You know, it's such a pain to transfer everything over. So you would have to constantly transfer them back and forth. And that's just something that's just not worth it to me. If anything, with this model, this would be something that I would probably just give to a family member. If I ended up, you know, if I wasn't going to use this, I'd just give it to a family member who would want it. But, that's the thing with the Switch Lite, essentially, you're pretty much making a commitment that you really don't want to play on the TV. So if you wanted to have both, I would just suggest buying this one if you wanted the portable and the TV aspect. If you don't care about the TV, then this is fine. And it's also great in price too. I mean, the Switch never gets any price cuts or sales as far as like for the pricing. They only just ever add things to the bundles to make the value of it better. Like, they would always add games to this so that like, it's still a $300 system, but it comes with a free game, like $60 game. Like, that's pretty cool. But they never changed that $300 price. This is the lowest a Switch has ever been, or the cheapest it's ever been to get into the Switch system and play the Switch games. So honestly, if you're that, like I've said plenty of times in this video, if that's something you're into and you just want to save some money, then this is a perfect system to just get into the Switch library and just start playing some games on it. But that'll be all for today. My name is Station X, and I hope you have a wonderful day.